Good evening. Welcome to my little bookshop. Oh, yes. Close the door. It's so cold. So cold today. So much snow. It's been snowing for 3 days. Can you believe that? Amazing. Well, luckily, we're still here and not covered in snow. You must be very cold. Yes. Come in. Take a look around. Relax. Warm yourself a little. Are you looking for a certain kind of book? Old stories. I have plenty of old stories from all around the world, and also a few stories not from this world. So you came to the right place. Let's see. Yes, just by looking like this, I see at least 10 books of that kind. A little bit of sun. That's nice. But it will start to snow again, I'm sure. I'm reading this right now. It's a lovely book. About the Vikings and how they traveled from Sweden and Norway and Denmark to get to England. That was serious business. Yeah, you see, the Vikings were not always welcome when they came, and they really didn't make an effort to be welcomed either. So, well, it's very interesting, fascinating. There are a lot of old Viking stories about the gods of the north, about Odin and Thor. Very interesting. So I can recommend this book. It's really good. Very interesting. Oh, you noticed my books? That they look a bit weird? Yeah, most people don't even notice it. But some actually comment that my books look different and odd. There's a good reason for that. I will tell you all about it. Some people notice that my books look a bit different in the design than what is common. We have another one here. You see, the paper is very glossy. The fonts are very modern. The reason for that is that the books that I have in this shop have not been written yet. These are the books of the future. Like this, for example. Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. She's not even born yet. How I get them? Well, I can't tell you that. It's a secret. You see, I must protect my sources. The rule is that I can have books from the future, but only if I keep it a secret what's in the books. Yes, that's why I can't sell them to you. You must have one of the ordinary books. books, but there are great, great old stories, so don't be sad. This one. This beautiful piece of art is filled with stories from all around the world. It's Swedish and English and Scottish and German, French, Spanish. Here's one from Italy. Oh, Italy's beautiful. Oh, from Poland. Yeah. Hungary. Do you want me to read one of them while we wait for the storm to end? Yes. I love reading. That's the best thing. Right, let's find a really good one. Maybe this one from Scotland. I like this one. A long, long time ago, when the earth was young, there was an old goddess living high up in the mountains. Her name was Beira. Her hair was long and white like snow. Her skin was dark blue, and she had only one icy blue eye. She was the goddess of winter. Beira had a mighty hammer, and by riding out from her home in the mountains, she hammered frost into the ground. Beira had a magical staff, and she froze the land every time she tapped. Her hammer was the same hammer as she used when she created and shaped the land, raising mountains and crafting valleys and rivers. Beira rode through the sky on a big wolf in the winter. She stayed and ruled the world until June, because even a goddess must rest. In June, she drank the water from the enchanted well before she went back to her mountain to rest. The well was called the Well of Youth. Drinking the water made her become younger and more beautiful, and it renewed her strength so that she would come back stronger when it was time for winter again. Beira had a slave, a young and much beautiful girl with long hair and big eyes. Her name was Bride. Beira was much jealous of Bride's beauty. She made her dress in old clothes, and she put her to work in her mountain home, performing the most horrible and impossible tasks. She always criticized Bride, nagging on her saying mean things to her that pierced Bride's heart like arrows of ice. Beira made Bride's life so miserable, and she was so unhappy. One day, Beira gave Bride a blanket made out of brown wool. She told her to wash it in the icy cold running stream in the mountains until the blanket was pure white. All day long, Bride washed the blanket. Her hands were numb by the icy water, but the brown would not wash off the blanket. Beira bid her to continue washing the blanket day after day after day, and Bride washed and washed and washed. One day, while crying over her impossible task and miserable life, an old man with a long grey beard was passing by. He felt sorry for the girl and asked her why she was so sad. Bride answered, telling him about Beira's task for her, and then she asked him his name. "My name is Father Winter. Give me the blanket, and I will make it white for you," he said. Bride gave the blanket to Father Winter. He shook the blanket 3 times, and on the 3rd shake, the blanket became snow white. Filled with joy, Bride thanked Father Winter. He then gave her a small bouquet of spring flowers. He asked her to tell Beira that spring flowers and new grass were beginning to grow in the fields and under the snow. Bride went back to Beira in the mountains. She laid the white blanket at her feet, but Beira's attention was focused on the flowers in her hand. In sudden anger, the goddess of winter asked where Bride had gotten the flowers. Bride told her about Father Winter and that green grass grew under the snow. Beira banished her from her sight, but Bride knew that Beira's reign was about to come to an end. The goddess rode off to each compass point, hammering frost at the earth to keep the spring away. Meanwhile, on the green isle of summer, Angus just woke up from a bad dream. Angus was the god of summer, and even gods have bad dreams sometimes. He had dreamed of a beautiful girl crying, and when he woke up, he asked his father, the king, about his dream. The king told Angus that Beira had a slave. Bride is the fair princess that Angus is to marry, and when he becomes king of summer, Bride is to be his queen. Beira wants to stop that in order to hold on to her reign. Angus told his father that he wanted to free Bride. However, his father bid him to stay until the winter had passed and grass was growing. But Angus did not want to wait and decided to cast a spell on the land and the sea. He borrowed 3 days from August and gave them to February, and the stormy winter sea calmed down, allowing him to cross. That night, Bride had also dreamed of Angus and awoke to the knowledge that he was arriving to free her. She cried of pure joy. When Angus came to the mountain and saved Bride, the fairy queen came out of the forest. She waved her wand, transforming Bride's old clothes into a beautiful white and silver dress. The fairy queen wed Angus and Bride, and as they walked forth, they came across a river coated in ice. Bride dipped her fingers in, and the ice melted. Spring birds started singing in the trees, and the air became warmer to breathe. Beira heard the birds and was outraged. She set off at once to wage war against Angus. When he caught sight of Beira coming at them in all her wrath, Angus and Bride fled back to the Green Island. Angus and Bride was happy there, but Angus longed to return to the land to reign as the king of summer. He made many attempts to return, but Beira raised storm after storm after storm to chase him away. But Beira eventually grew tired. She needed to drink from the well of youth again so she could become strong and beautiful. She threw her hammer and her staff underneath a tree and drank the water from the well to become beautiful and young again. But she was still tired. Keeping a constant eye on Angus for such long time had exhausted her. So she fell asleep. Now Angus and Bride had their chance. They both returned to the land, and while Beira was sleeping, they were welcomed by the people and crowned as king and queen. And so winter gave way to spring, and then summer and autumn, as Angus and Bride continued to rule, only for Beira to rise again to reign over winter. And that is how the seasons came to pass upon the world. Did you like this story? Oh, you want to buy this book? Well, it's all yours. It's yours. Oh. The storm is over now. Perfect timing. Well, I hope that you will enjoy your book and that you come back and visit me more times. I have many more books for you. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.